All right, so in Matthew 24, Yeshua is explaining to the disciples the sign of his return. Okay, so from verse 1 it says, Yeshua went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. And Yeshua said unto them, See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? Okay, Yeshua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceives you. So even in just that alone, that should say a lot to you people in the church and you people in the synagogues. They ask him what the sign of his return is, and the first thing he says is, Take heed that no man deceives you. So clearly there's going to be a lot of deception going on in the last generation. And that's all the way through the prophets. Okay, that these people claiming to follow God, they're going to have abandoned the Holy Covenant. They're not going to be going after God's righteousness. They're going to be going after their own self-righteousness. They're not going to want to hear the words of the prophets, because all of the prophets from Samuel to Malachi were speaking of this generation and the destruction of a wicked and disobedient, gainsaying people. They don't want to hear that. They just want to hear smooth ear-tickling words that make them feel comfortable in their apostasy, right? All the way through the prophets, it is warning you not to be deceived by these smooth ear-tickling words. You have to understand and proclaim the refreshing of the Holy Covenant. That is the gospel. Yeshua himself calls it the gospel. Paul says if you teach another gospel that you're accursed. So there's no room for error when it comes to the gospel. There is one gospel, one faith. It's the refreshing of the covenant. If you don't understand it, then you have been deceived. He told you, take heed that no man deceives you. But if you don't understand the refreshing of the Holy Covenant, then you've been deceived. Okay? For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. Okay? That is not talking about all these different people running around saying, I am literally the Messiah. That's talking about all these denominations. Saying, no, this is the true Messiah. No, this is the true Messiah. No, this is the true Messiah. But they're all wrong, because none of them teach the refreshing. It doesn't matter whether you're Baptist, Lutheran, Pentecostal, Episcopalian, Catholic, whatever. You're all wrong. You're all wrong. You got the great whore and a many harlot daughters. That's the Catholic Church and all the Protestant Reformation. You're all wrong. All in error, all deceived, because none of you teach the refreshing of the covenant. Synagogues included. And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences, and earthquakes in divers places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Okay? So, in 2 Peter 3, Peter tells you not to be ignorant of this mystery, that a day with the Lord is 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is as one day. And he's making reference to Psalm 90, and then if you tie that in with Hosea 6, it basically shows you that the space of time between the death, burial, and resurrection and Yeshua's return is 2,000 years. So here we are in 2025. He was crucified somewhere between 28 and 33. So it doesn't matter which way you cut it. We are nearing the end of that 2,000 years. And you got to take off 3.5 years of great tribulation as well. Okay, so 100% we are in the birth pangs, right? When you see all these prophecies of the great and terrible day of the Lord, and it says that, as a woman in travail, pain to be delivered of a child, that's talking about the man-child being born that we see in Revelation 12. That's the 144,000 getting caught up to the throne. So right now we're in like the birth pangs. It's like the woman is in labor, like heavy labor. Like it's right around the corner. We've got the wars and we've got the rumors of wars. Nation is rising against nation, famines, pestilences, earthquakes, all these diverse sorrows. Okay, you also have the fact that, you know, Paul tells us in 2 Thessalonians 2 that before the great and terrible day of the Lord, you're going to have a great falling away first. Great falling away in the Strongs is apostasia, the Greek word apostasia, which is where we get the word apostasy from. Right? So he's telling you that before the great and terrible day of the Lord, the whole church is going to go apostate. Well, that's happened. You've got the watchman, or even before that, this calling to many people to enter into the work of the watchman, right? But only few have chosen to enter into it. But few have chosen to enter into it. That has happened, okay? You've got the evil servant prophecy being fulfilled, okay? You got the Torah movement prophecy being fulfilled, where they jump from the frying pan of the Christian church straight into the fire of envy and Judah, and they just profane God's feasts and try and put all these false burdens on people. All these things are happening to a T. Like prophecy, all of the prophecies of the end of the world are just one by one being fulfilled. And we're getting very, very close to the great and terrible day of the Lord now. Like, that's really the next thing that comes. The Revelation 12 sign happened in 2017. You know, where the woman clothed with the sun with a crown of stars around her head. You know, like that happened in 2017. The church has gone apostate. The watchmen are rising up, proclaiming the refreshing, proclaiming Jehovah's name. All these things are happening just as prophecy says it's going to happen. Right? Gaza is forsaken, a desolation. Meanwhile, the meek of the earth are executing righteous judgment. Watchers sent from a far country to give warning against the inhabitants of Judea. This small group of people, Jacob the servant, rising up, being hated by absolutely everybody just for proclaiming the refreshing of the covenant. It's all happening, just as the book said it was going to happen. And so, all these are the beginnings of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Right? So, Matthew 5, Isaiah 54, the servants that are going to rise up, people are just going to hate them. Say all manner of evil against them, gossip, slander, you know, lay snares. It's all happening. Just as the book said it was going to happen. Okay? Then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another, and many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. Okay? So much so that in verse 22 it says that, that would be verse 24. There's going to be so many deceptions going around that if it were possible, even the very elect would be deceived. So basically, another way of saying that is that the very elect are the only ones who will not be deceived. The whole world is deceived apart from the very elect. Now, verse 12. Because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. Okay, so clearly, endure unto the end means that you don't abound in iniquity, and the love of many does not wax cold within you. Okay, so the love of many waxing cold, that means the love of God and love of neighbor is waxing cold. Nobody's keeping the commandments, nobody's fulfilling the royal law. And so because nobody's fulfilling the royal law, people have their own blood on their hands, and then they've got everybody else's blood on their hands. And that's exactly what Hosea 4 says. You know, you lie, kill, murder, steal, break out, and blood touches blood. Everybody's just in sin. Nobody's correcting each other. Iniquity has abounded. The love of many is waxed cold. Just like it said it was going to happen. Okay? But he that shall endure. Okay, so the whole world is going to be abounding in sin. Nobody's loving God. Nobody's loving neighbor. But he that endures, you know, there's always a tiny remnant. There's always a remnant who are actually listening to God, who have their ears nailed to the door, standing in the gate, turning the battle to the gate, given a spirit of judgment to sit in judgment. You know, it's like, it's unbelievable how people cannot see the plain, simple truth of this book. He that shall endure unto the end, he that does love God and does love his neighbour, if he endures to the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel, so the gospel is the people who endure. Because what do the people who endure do? They love God and they love their neighbor. Because Yeshua refreshed the covenant, we don't have to be under the sacrificial law anymore. He magnified the law and he made it honorable. He elevated those two commandments to love God and love your neighbor. And Paul says in Romans 13, if you do that, you fulfill all the law. Think not that I came to destroy the law and the prophets. I did not come to destroy, but to fulfill. John 14, if you love me, if you believe in me, the works I've done, you will do as well. Okay, so Yeshua fulfilled the law by loving God and loving his neighbor. He told us to do the same thing. Paul says if we do it, we fulfill the law. Yeshua came not to destroy the law, but to fulfill. So clearly the gospel is loving God and loving your neighbor. Right? So this gospel, where people do not abound in sin, abound in iniquity, and the love of many does not wax cold within them, they will endure to the end and will be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, then shall come the end of the world. Okay, so just before the end of the world, there is going to be a group of people enduring unto the end, preaching that gospel. I can think of a group of people doing that. Deuteronomy 31, right? In fact, no, Revelation 14 first. And I looked, and lo, a Lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his Father's name written in their foreheads, Jehovah. Okay? And I heard a voice from heaven as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps. And they sung, as it were, a new song before the throne, and before the four beasts and the elders. And no man could learn that song but the 144,000, which were redeemed from the earth. Okay, so they have their Father's name written in their foreheads. So John 17, let me quickly just flip that. John 17, verse 4, I have glorified thee on earth, I have finished the work which thou gavest me to do, and now, O Father, glorify thou me with thine own self, and with the glory which I had with thee before the world was. I have manifested thy name unto the men which thou gavest me out of the world. Thine they were, and thou gavest them me, and they have kept thy word. They have kept your word. Okay? The Father's name, Jehovah, has been manifested unto them by Yeshua, and now it's written in their foreheads, and they learn the new song of Moses, right? They learn the new song of Moses. They're going to endure unto the end, and they're going to be preaching this gospel, which will be preached in all the world for a witness against all nations. Then the end is going to come. Okay, so what's this song? What's this witness? Deuteronomy 31 from verse 19. Now therefore write ye this song for you, and teach it the children of Israel, and put it in their mouths, that this song may be for a witness for me against the children of Israel. For when I shall have brought them into the land which I swear unto their fathers, that floweth with milk and honey, then shall they have eaten and filled themselves and waxen fat. Then will they turn unto other gods and serve them, and provoke me, and break my covenant. And it shall come to pass, when many evils and troubles are befallen them, that this song shall testify against them as a witness, for it shall not be forgotten out of the mouths of their seed. For I know their imagination which they go about, even now, before I have brought them into the land which I swear. Okay? So, this song that he's talking about is Deuteronomy 32. Okay? This song is going to be a witness against the whole world. Okay? Deuteronomy 32 is all about the judgment of God. Even just look at this, verse 3. Because I will publish the name of Jehovah, their name, Yeshua manifested his name unto the very elect. Then they have the Father's name written in their foreheads. I will publish the name of Jehovah. Ascribe ye greatness unto our God. He is the rock, his work is perfect, for all his ways are judgment. A God of truth and without iniquity, just and right is he. They have corrupted themselves. Their spot is not the spot of his children. They are a perverse and crooked generation. Because you went after all these little g gods, and you broke the holy covenant. So he raises up these servants who Yeshua is going to manifest his name to, and they're the ones who are going to understand Deuteronomy 32. They are the ones who will not abound in iniquity. The love of many will not wax cold in them, and they're going to be warning you and proclaiming to you the judgment of God because you broke the holy covenant. Then the whole church is running around saying, we're not under the law. We don't have to keep the 10 Commandments for salvation anymore. No, you just don't understand the refreshing of the covenant. He literally says in the end of Deuteronomy 31 that he wrote the sacrificial law in a book until it was finished. Then Yeshua dies and he says it is finished. He ended the sacrificial law, not the holy covenant. You've been deceived. The whole world's going to, the book is telling you over and over again that the whole world's going to be deceived apart from the very elect. What are they deceived into believing? That they don't have to keep the holy covenant anymore. That they don't have to fulfill the royal law. They don't understand the refreshing. They don't understand the gospel. But he's going to raise up this group of people who he is going to reveal his name to. He's going to give them the meat and due season. Then they will know that it is I who speaks, says Jehovah. Their righteousness is of me, says Jehovah. There's going to be this group of people that rise up who understand Deuteronomy 32, and they're going to proclaim it. And it's going to be a witness against the whole world. And it's going to go out into the whole world. Okay? Right? Revelation 14. These are they who are redeemed from among men. Right? So let's go to Isaiah 62. For Zion's sake I will not hold my peace, and for Jerusalem's sake I will not rest, until the righteousness thereof goes forth as brightness, and the salvation thereof as a lamp that burneth. And the Gentiles shall see thy righteousness, and all kings thy glory, and thou shalt be called by a new name which the mouth of Jehovah shall name. And thou shalt be for a crown of glory in the hand of Jehovah, and a royal diadem in the hand of thy God. Thou shalt no more be termed forsaken, neither shall thy land be any more termed desolate. But thou shalt be called Hephzibah, and thy land Beulah. For Jehovah delighteth in thee, and thy land shall be married. For as a young man marrieth a virgin, so shall thy sons marry thee. Oh, what manner of love the Father has bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of God. We don't know what we will be like, but we will be just like him at his appearing. And as a bridegroom rejoiceth over the bride, so shall thy God rejoice over thee. I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace, day nor night. You that make mention of Jehovah, keep not silence. He that endures unto the end, the same shall be saved. Give him no rest till he establish, until he make New Jerusalem a praise in the earth. Jehovah hath sworn by his right hand, and by the arm of his strength, surely I will no more give thy corn to be meat for thine enemies, and the sons of the stranger shall not drink thy wine for the which thou hast laboured. But they that have gathered it shall praise Jehovah. And they that have brought it together shall drink it in the courts of my holiness. Go through the gates. Prepare ye the way of the people. Cast up the highway. Gather out the stones. Lift up a standard for the people. Behold, Jehovah hath proclaimed unto the end of the world. Say ye to the daughter of Zion, Behold, thy salvation cometh. Behold, his reward is with him, and his work before him. And they shall call them the holy people, the redeemed of Jehovah. And thou shalt be called sought out, a city not forsaken. The redeemed of Jehovah are the ones proclaiming unto the end of the world the refreshing of the covenant. And they're going to be hated by all man for his righteousness' sake, for his name's sake. Okay? Matthew 28, Mark 16, Yeshua says, go and preach everything that I commanded you unto the end of the world. Go and preach the gospel unto the end of the world. So the gospel is something that he commanded us. What did he command us? To love God and to love our neighbor, the refreshing of the covenant. I know it sounds like I'm repeating myself, but the Bible repeats itself. It's constantly saying the same thing over and over and over again, and yet you people are too stupid to hear it because you're so full of pride and covetousness. You don't want to let go of the world. This world's coming to an end. What are you holding on to? Why don't you actually just repent and start listening to God? Do you not want to be? Do you not want to be blessed by God? Do you not want to be the redeemed of the Lord? Do you not want to serve God? Do you not want to love him? Like Matthew 24. Yeshua, what's the sign of your return? What's the sign of the end? The sign of the end is when this group of people who is not abounding in iniquity and the love of many does not wax cold in them, endures unto the end and preaches the gospel unto the end of the world. That's the sign of his come. Okay? Isaiah 62, this group of people are going to be doing that. They're called the redeemed of the Lord. Revelation 14, the redeemed of the Lord know the new song. The redeemed of the Lord know the new song of Moses. Deuteronomy 31, this song will be a witness against the whole world, because they went after all these little g gods. They sacrificed their children unto them. They learnt the ways of the heathen. They didn't listen to my voice, and they abandoned the holy covenant. What did the very elect teach? The refreshing of the covenant. Like, you can't make this stuff up. You just can't make it up. There you go.